What's up, everyone? Welcome. We're going to have a quick podcast regarding the February, what that looks like for SkuxxVerse. This is going to be really loud, so I'll get that out of the way. I hope everybody got a chance to listen to the podcast I had Arcdev on last night. I got a lot of you guys giving me feedback that my screen was too small in the corner. I'll have you know two things. Arcdev is obviously the GOAT, so I wanted to display him. And secondly, when I was screen recording, my screen was actually a lot bigger, and then when I fucking put it on YouTube, they were like, alright, you're going to be minuscule in the corner there, so it is what it is, alright? Here's me, big in the flesh. You can zoom up on me, so all good. Look, there's a lot happening in February. We've pretty much becoming our reality in February. Not to be corny there, but like all of our vision, everything is in our roadmap is executed this month. Yes, it is February 1st, this month. So we've got multiplayer coming out. It could be as soon as the next week. This is going to be huge. This is where SkuxxVerse that you guys have been able to see on a couple of these sneak peek videos we have. You guys will be joining us, jumping into the world with us. It's open to the public, so it means anyone can jump in. We invite the public, but as far as in-game rewards and any sort of distribution of the trafficking yields we make, that's only going to be for token holders. So what it could look like is, say, a gladiator. We have the Colosseum already built, a gladiator tournament going on. And we do allow the public to come in, but they will be in the spectators' seats, just watching everything go on. We expect this to be a big theme once we have like our initial deployment of massive world prizes. We're talking thousands of world per event. We believe in heavily in the world token, so it is our native currency. It's going to be what all our transactions are through, and it's gasless. So if you didn't get a chance, I hope you did. Otherwise, I sound like a muppet at the start of this video. But if you didn't get a chance to listen to the podcast with Ark, he explains how the gasless transactions will be executed on NFT worlds. So we're looking good in that department, and yeah, how it could look with the multiplayer traffic yields. I'll just sort of brush over what Arcdev mentioned. Is that in-game purchases, so we could have things like gladiator suits, armor, swords, battle axes, all sorts of different weapons, crossbows, and we could then have them be purchased with, say, 10, 20, 30 world, and then those weapons can be used in play-to-earn events to create an advantage, right, to stimulate the circulating economy in that aspect, and then that transaction that was spent in our NFT world will come to us, and that's in the roadmap 100% going to token holders. So essentially, the public can purchase in-game items. It won't serve them much use for paid events, but at the same time, we might branch out to free events, and obviously letting our Colosseum open to the public to just test out get the feel of how our events and tournaments go, and this is another thing I want to brush up on is these NFT world builders. We're a verified build, so we use verified builders. It sounds like a drone is over me right now. I'm sorry for that if it's in the audio. But yeah, these builders, they're capable of doing things really quick. So we could do month to month different themes. You know, Gladiator was where my vision initially went to, and they've executed it perfectly. We have SkuxxVerse. I don't want to. If anything, what we would do is we'd build on other NFT worlds that we own. So we're not touching SkuxxVerse. I'm going to make sure that you guys are. We're not touching the SkuxxVerse that's built currently. We could do a theme on another world depending on how much adoption we get, especially in the early stages. But for the time being, it's all going to be on this SkuxxVerse that's already built, and it's going to be gladiator themed. We're going to be offering massive events with massive world token earnings, open to the public. Public can spectate and or join free public events. But that's how the multiplayer is going to look. And there's going to be plenty of aspects that are outside of the play to earn events. You're going to have a lot more reasons to be in SkuxxVerse. I'm not going to release that information just yet. I'll give you a better idea as we get closer. So in the next few days, because we could be live next week. So the next few days, I'm going to give some more podcasts with other things that you're doing inside of SkuxxVerse that involve our partnerships. So for right now, we're working with 8 Parkour, who are creating an unbelievable parkour gym inside of our NFT world. They're going to be hosting events in some regard. Then there's going to be Spirit Nations, who is, in my opinion, what we've built them is my favourite spot in SkuxxVerse. It's up there. It's definitely top 3. They've got these really cool TPs at the back of the castle. They're Spirit Nations, Native American sort of entertainment group, and we're literally so happy to have them on board with us. I can see bigger collaboration between us and them happening as we go on. So yeah, those guys are something you want to keep an eye out for. And then we have Tank Wars, which is an up and coming project. We'll have more information on these guys soon. Again, I'm going to make their own podcast for this. So I'm going to keep this one short and sharp. We're at 6 minutes. I'll probably try to keep it under 10. Now let's talk about, we're very close to our 6th NFT world. So we have 5 in the community wallet. We brought 1.5 with sales, and then if you've been following closely, I personally stimulated the economy with 3.5, my own 3, and matched what we had from sales to get us that 4th, and then of course the SkuxxVerse that it was initially built for. So we have 5 NFT worlds inside of our community wallet that will all be used for staking yields. So that's why I was explaining to someone the other day is you'll actually make a higher return of investment on a token, on a SkuxxVerse token, than you would in NFT world. That's not a dig at NFT worlds by any means. And if you have the funds to go and buy an NFT world, I suggest you do so. But if you can't and you want to get into some regard, that's where projects like SkuxxVerse we're going to utilize is right now your return on a SkuxxVerse token, which is anywhere between $200 to $300 depending on what Ethereum's at. It's going to be higher than what you would make in a month staking a world that's worth. The floor is quite high. Obvious reasons for the capabilities and the utility that comes with that. But as far as the staking aspect, because I have oversaturated the community wallet with my NFT worlds. So when you compare it to the investment right now that people have made, I'm excited just for the first airdrop. Let's see. And that's happening on a February 19th. February 18th is going to be when we do the snapshot to see who owns tokens, how many tokens. I'm very excited for that date. And how this is going to work is early access, you're going to get 5% extra yield. Gold ticket holders are going to get 25% extra yield. Someone mentioned in Discord that's a lot the other day, and I do agree. However, gold tickets make up 10% of the total supply, so there's not a lot of them out there, and I think as of now there's 4 or 5 that have been minted. Out of right now we're at 140 members, token holders. So there's plenty more golds to come, but they're not gonna flood the distribution model. It's not going to hurt red and blue significantly because of how we're giving 100% back of the traffic from what I explained in the multiplayer in-game transactions. Those are 100% going back to the token holder. Renting, so we have 5, almost 6 NFT worlds. We're going to rent whatever we're not using. Those are 100% yields are going to go back to the token holder, and then staking. So staking is pretty self-explanatory, but if you're not aware, it's basically when you lock up your digital asset. You can do this with cryptocurrency too, but for the NFT worlds, this is the example. You lock up your digital asset, you agree not to sell it. By agreeing not to sell it, the supply goes down for NFT worlds. The whole ecosystem thrives in the sense because the supply goes down, and the demand goes up. And it doesn't take a rocket scientist to understand how supply and demand works. So supply going down, demand going up, that is going to benefit the overall NFT ecosystem. Therefore, staking helps that cause, and ArcDev has 5 years worth of staking yields that will be distributed to anyone holding NFT worlds, or in our case, multiple NFT worlds. So we're locked in for 5 years, and at that point when we're finished, 5 years and the staking yields are technically all used up, there's going to be such high yields from renting at that point, because the demand to do what we're doing, like we're very early. There's about 50 other projects that have just built on NFT worlds, let alone I don't know any other project that's doing exactly what we're doing, giving 100% back to the token holders. So yeah, we don't have a lot of competition now, but in 5 years there's going to be a lot of projects that are up and coming. That's where the staking yield, the renting yields will be very high, and then just in game transactions. That's the ultimate goal for any metaverse, is to have its own economy inside of the metaverse. So in-game transactions in 5 years will be what we thrive on, but for the next 5 years from here on out, it's the staking yields that right now are oversaturated. So I'm going to wrap it up there. 11 minutes is heaps of time. I'll be doing more of these in the future, and until then, like as in tomorrow, the future, but until then, cheers guys, have a good one.